think I might do a series on this because I'm thinking I might be forgetting to add some stuff. So the name is Walking as an Exercise. First, I want to say, don't know if I said this in my last video, get rid of your scale. The number on the scale, when you step on it, has no indicator of your health. It's an easy indicator, even though it's no indicator. It's an easy number to look at. You can buy a scale anywhere. I see scales at every 20 garage sales I go to, I'll find a scale. And they're selling for $5. It's an easy mark, but it has no basis on how your health. And when I say your health, I mean to include your mental health also. The scale, as a matter of fact, is the biggest hinderer of health. I used to have an eating disorder. My eating disorder centered around the number on the scale. So many people say, even when they don't have an eating disorder, most people's vision of their own health center on that scale. Jump on the scale. How much does it say? Oh, I'm overweight. Are you though? And even if you are, how much does that matter? There was somebody somewhere, probably white, probably male, who made up a chart of what people should weigh. The age bracket, the gender. They even at one time had, are you small boned or medium boned or big boned? And now, even then, I didn't believe that, big bones, quote unquote, big bone stuff. Because, your bones can't be that big to give you a 40-pound difference from, it's just nonsense. Anyways, I don't think bone size really makes that much of a difference when we're talking about, the average, person of various ages. Anyways, that's too complicated. Just skip that. I said that wrong. It came out wrong. I meant it differently than how it came out. But anyways. My value, I don't want to say my total value. I wouldn't even say much of my value. It's just a minuscule amount of my quote unquote value took over the rest of my life when I had an eating disorder. I knew the number on that scale would not make or break me. It would not mean whether or not I got a high-paying job. I knew it didn't mean that I would be mentally healthy. I knew it didn't mean I'd be physically healthy. I knew for a fact that that did not mean whatever was on that scale did not indicate my happiness. If I had a higher weight than what I was at any time, it wouldn't have meant that I would have been a happier person. If I had a lower weight than I did at that time, it wouldn't have meant I was a more successful person. None of this, but I obsessed about it. And I guess maybe that's basically what you have when you have an addiction or an obsessive compulsive disorder, which kind of overlaps with addiction. You obsess about the one thing. And we all do it, though maybe not to the degree I was doing it. We all do it to some degree when we have a scale and we utilize a scale. We want to quantify stuff. That's why we have cholesterol levels. That's why we have, oh gosh, I got a 24 points. So, quantifying right there, a 24-point health screen. I get typically twice a year. Our ProMedica, our local health, I don't know, organization, service, whatever, puts it on twice a year in the county I live in, and which is Lenawee, by the way. And these are all numbers. It's all numbers. And I think numbers can help in a lot of ways. Some of them are dubious, like cholesterol is one of them numbers that some doctors say, really is, unless it's excessively high or excessively low, it really, them in-betweens really mean nothing. But there's so many, like your iron count and your ferrin count, or ferrin, whatever. I just learned about this, ferrin or something count, your vitamin D count. I think all this is indicators, though not, that's just indicators for that day at that time. A lot of them can move up and down just day by day. But it gives you, or week by week, but it gives you a good indicator where you are. If it's excessively high or excessively low, different things, iron, vitamin D, whatever, it can tell you, okay, you might be deficient, take a supplement, Keep an eye on it, take a supplement. If you get bad side effects, decrease it or get rid of it. If you're getting good side effects, keep on. Some of them are definitely like your white blood count, cell count, all of them are, definite that, yeah, if you got a number that's above or below the recommended amount, then that is definitely an indicator that there's an issue that needs to be addressed. Like the other ones are kind of slippery slope type things. You can, take with a grain of salt, keep an eye on it. But the number on the scale, there's no indicator whatsoever at any time, ever, 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 as to your health. BMI, it's just the number of your, I don't know exactly how it's calculated. I keep forgetting. I look it up every once in a while, and then 5 minutes later, I forget how it's calculated. But basically, it's taking your weight and then subtracting, I guess, your height or something, and I don't know, centimeters or something, and then doing an extra step of like dividing your age or something stupid. It's basically just your height and weight. And it's basically, it's just the same thing as the charts that the old white male from long ago made to say, okay, this is your age, this is your height, this is what your weight range should be. It's the same thing. It's just a fancier way of doing it. And again, it's no indicator of your health. And it can drag you down. If you see that number rising, you're more likely to start eating unhealthy. And you're more likely to stop exercising. Again, walking is not exercise. You're more likely to feel bad about yourself. I know this is what I did. Now, mine was an extreme case, but we all feel. My theory is a mental illness is just overused. How did I say that? I wish I would have written it down, because when I want to use it, I forget it. It's basically an over-exaggerated personality trait or personality tick, if you think, because we all have a little bit of everything that is considered a disorder. We all have a tiny bit of it. It's just when it's a disorder when it becomes exaggerated. I can't even remember where I was going with that. The bottom line is we all have this need to quantify our health in some way, every aspect of our health. Are we getting enough calories? There's a number for that. Are we, the right weight? There's a number for that. Is our cholesterol level, in a good range? There's a number for that. Are we getting enough vitamin D? There's a number for that. And again, like I said, a lot of these numbers are very good indicators. Some are slippery slope indicators, and some and I'm just going to say it, I think the cholesterol is BS, okay? But I have high cholesterol, and I eat extremely healthy and I exercise every day. And I still have high cholesterol. But I see no indicators of it affecting me negatively. So I'm not going to, that to me is just BS. But it's slightly high. It's only like 15 points over, so it's not excessive. Like I said, if it was excessively high, I'd look into it because, I maybe change my diet, look into other lifestyle changes, so it doesn't become a problem. Maybe, I don't know, clogged artery. I don't know what happens when you get high cholesterol. But anyway, so we're basing, most people when they step on that scale are basing their health on it. Not self-worth, but health. And if that number goes up, even just with me, it was just a couple of pounds. And I've heard other people who didn't have eating disorders say the same thing. If the weight goes up just a couple of pounds, all of a sudden they're unhealthy and they got to go on a diet and this and that. And I don't like the word diet the way it's used now because it's been abused by the weight loss industry, and now it means something that it's not supposed to mean, and we don't have any word to replace it. That's the problem. We don't have any word to replace it, and it's been hijacked. But that has so just get rid of that scale. Who cares what your weight is? Your health depends on how are you feeling. And this will vary day to day, and depending on what we're talking about, like you might feel good about your job, but you're not happy with your relationship with one of your kids, or your animal may, one of your pets might be a really nice pet, be good, and the other one's tearing up the couch, So how are you feeling about each individual thing? Well, address that, when you have that. Physically, are you able to do all you want to do? How is your breathing? Are your joints okay? Are you feeling pain in your joints? All this is, are you feeling pain anywhere? Are you suffering from migraines? Do you have menopausal systems? Do you have ovarian, what do you call that? Whatever. Do you have any issue? That is what you should focus on. The number on the scale is the worst, but the problem is it's the easiest accessible number. That's the problem. The worst the worst thing to look at is the easiest thing to look at. I was going to go into calories, but this has been long enough. Just get rid of the scale. That's no indicator of don't and quit with the I want to lose weight. Don't even think you want to lose weight. You don't want to lose weight. You just want to be healthy. But you're putting it in verbiage that society has told you to put it in. And therefore you're looking at it in a way, and you're going about it in a way that's unhealthy. You want to be the healthiest you can be for the lifestyle you are living. And you're capable of living. Because some people, just because of health conditions or financial reasons or societal reasons, are not able to do specific things, achieve specific goals. I'm not one of these ones that, blow smoke in your face and tell you can achieve all you want to achieve. No, you can't. I want to be a multi-bazillionaire, but I'm never going to be a multi-bazillionaire. You want to be the best you can be for your situation. And that the number on the scale is no indicator of how healthy you are, how successful you are, nothing. It has no indicator of how it's going. The biggest downfall, like people start losing weight, and that's what their goal is. They're trying to lose weight, not be healthy. They're not looking at it a health way, being healthy. They're looking at it as losing weight. And then when that number starts to creep up, even just a couple of pounds, they'll be on a roll, they'll be on this high, they're losing weight, they're looking on the scale, they're getting on the scale every day. Then maybe it'll inch up a couple pounds. It might not even inch up. I've heard people go into a crisis just because they're not losing weight anymore and the scale is staying stable. And that's when it starts creeping up. And that's when a lot of people, most people just completely give up and start not exercising and start eating bad foods again. Processed foods, fast foods, restaurant foods, prepackaged instant reheat and serve foods. That scale is more harmful than helpful. It is not helpful, not only is it not helpful, it is very harmful. You should look at you gotta start from the go to look at it right. Are you not able to walk as far as you want to walk? Are you not able to get up from the chair as easily? Are you having problems with balance? A lot of these don't even a lot of your issues don't even have anything to do with your health. Like with me aging, I'm losing my balance, right? Because of my brain damage, I didn't have good balance to begin with. I didn't practice that in my younger days. Nobody told me to. So now I'm aging and my balance is getting worse than the bad it was before. So for my health, I'm trying to work on balance now. I got 1 day a week where I do my balance. I do balance all day. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to be healthier about. That has nothing to do with weight. Most of our issues have nothing to do with weight. It has to do with, changing our eating habits. So even if it doesn't cure the situation, it'll treat the situation to make it less irritating, less annoying, less progressive. See, I'm rambling here. I'm just saying you got to look at it to be successful and have a happy, fulfilling life. And maybe not a longer life, but a life that is happier in the time it's here. You've got to look at things differently. You've got to not want to lose weight. You've got to want to be healthy and tackle them issues. Because your weight is such a base ideology anyways. Even if you lose weight, you might still have the issues you have because maybe you're getting gluten in your diet and the gluten's causing, like I've heard people say the gluten causes them migraines. Some people say gluten was causing them to have joint pain or something. For me, gluten made my face break out in acne. Me losing weight, if I'm still eating gluten and I've lost all that weight, I'm still having acne problems. Person's still having migraines if they lost all that weight, but they're still eating gluten. So it is just terrible. In so many ways, it's just terrible to even put the number on the scale as any indicator of health. So just look at your goals differently. Say, get rid of the scale. Just get rid of it. Don't even think about it. Just get rid of it. Start there. That's the easy part. The harder part is retraining your brain, retraining your thinking, and saying, I want to be healthy. I want to be the healthiest me I can be in the situation I am. And then start from there. Okay? Get rid of the scale. And if you have to change doctors, I had to change doctors. This is another thing. A lot of well, I don't want to say a lot. At least some doctors will want you to insist you get on the scale when you get into the office. I had to change a doctor because one of my doctors insisted I get on the scale before I saw them. And I even told them I used to have an eating disorder. I don't like the idea of the scale. And all they would do is they'd have me turn around while I was on the scale, and then they'd have me they'd white out the number on the paper they gave me back so I wouldn't see the number. And so the next time I still had a crisis after that. I thought it would be enough, but I had a crisis after that. So the next time I went, I says, listen, just even the idea of a scale, anybody knowing my weight, is just I can know my weight. As a matter of fact, I found out I can know my weight. Just as long as nobody else knows my weight, I'm okay with that. At least now in my life, this point in my life, I'm okay with me knowing my weight and not anybody else. It will not send me back down the rabbit hole of an eating disorder. But I talked to this doctor about it, and the doctor just blew me off. And they said, well, this is what my whatever health, the person, the company that oversees it, ProMedica, that's what they require her to do. Then lie. Say you did it. And you're saying, well, it leaves her open for lawsuits. All she would have to do is say, my client has an eating disorder and the scale is her enemy. Just even, thinking about the scale will send her back into an eating disorder. So I didn't do it. But then I later found out that's BS, because there was other doctors I went to that are under the ProMedica. That's all that's around here is ProMedica. So, I'm going to have to use doctors that are under the ProMedica umbrella. Them doctors, 2-3 other doctors that I went to that are under the ProMedica, they didn't make me step on. When I said I didn't want to step on the scale, I said I have issues, with the scale. They said okay, and they just, no problem, and just omitted it. So there was no need for her to do that. But when they do it, at least with ProMedica, if they see you're close, if you're overweight according to their BMI scale, or close to being overweight according to their BMI scale, they will sit you down and talk to you about losing weight. Not being healthy, losing weight. That in and of itself will send somebody with an eating disorder back into an eating disorder. So again, you might have to change some things. Definitely get rid of that scale. You might have to change your doctors if they're not compliant. But that scale, that number, don't even think about it, and rethink your thinking about health. You are not trying to lose weight. Quit that nonsense. You are trying to be the healthiest you can be in the situation you're currently in. Thank you for listening. I do have a tendency of going on.